What is Machiavellian thinking, and why is it so dangerous? Machiavellian thinking puts power above morality, and it's far more common than we realize. Rooted in manipulation, control, and strategic deceit, it rewards fear over respect and silence over truth. What makes it dangerous isn't just the method, it's how often it works. In a world full of hidden players, the smartest one isn't loud. It's the one you never see coming. But first, who was Machiavelli? Born in Florence, Italy in 1469, Niccolò di Niccoli, better known as Machiavelli, was an Italian Renaissance philosopher, writer, and politician. Best known for his book The Prince, which outlined principles for acquiring and maintaining political power. His philosophy is still relevant today because it teaches us how to win by any means necessary. To be honest, though, this can be interpreted in two ways. While his work has been used to justify tyranny and oppression, it has also been used as a tool to overthrow oppressive regimes. So what exactly is Machiavellian thinking? It's a personality style characterized by manipulative, exploitative, and deceptive behavior. Someone who exhibits Machiavellian thinking places self-interest above morality and is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. They believe that the ends justify the means, and they're not afraid to get their hands dirty. Now, if you think this sounds like a description of a sociopath or a psychopath, you're not alone. There's a lot of overlap between these personality types and Machiavellianism. But it's important to remember that not everyone who exhibits Machiavellian thinking is necessarily a psychopath. It can simply be a part of someone's personality or even a coping mechanism. However, when it comes to playing chess, it's a whole other story. Why? Because life is very different from chess. In chess, there are always right moves and wrong moves. If you play correctly, you will win. It's just a matter of time. Whereas in life, the rules change every day, and sometimes there is no clear right or wrong move. You have to be able to adapt to changing circumstances and make the best of a bad situation. In chess, you can plan ahead and anticipate your opponent's moves. But in life, people are unpredictable, and things don't always go according to plan. You have to be able to think on your feet and make decisions quickly with incomplete information. And here is where Machiavellian thinking becomes useful. By its nature, it is flexible and adaptable. Unlike chess, there may not be a single optimal strategy for dealing with a given situation. Machiavellian thinking allows you to assess the situation, identify the most advantageous course of action, and pursue it relentlessly. At the same time, you need to be aware of your opponents and what they are capable of. This is why Machiavellian thinkers are often successful. They're able to outmaneuver and outthink their competition, because they are willing to do whatever it takes to win. They are not constrained by morality or ethics, and they are able to use deception, manipulation, and brute force effectively when necessary. However, while Machiavellian thinking can be effective in achieving success, it is not without its risks. When you put your own interests above everything else, you can easily become isolated and cut off from the very people who can help you achieve your goals. After all, people are social creatures, and we all rely on others to a certain extent. If you alienate everyone around you in pursuit of your own interests, you will eventually find yourself alone with no one to help you. Additionally, Machiavellian thinking can lead to paranoia and a general distrust of others. This can make it difficult to form meaningful relationships and can lead to a very lonely existence. So it's important to be aware of the potential downsides of Machiavellian thinking before you decide to embrace it. There are three key elements of Machiavellian thinking: manipulation, control, and deceit. Let's take a closer look at each of them. Manipulation. Manipulation is the cornerstone of Machiavellian thinking. Manipulators are skilled at getting other people to do what they want them to do. They are masters of persuasion, and they know how to exploit other people's weaknesses. They often use emotional manipulation tactics such as guilt, fear, or pity to get their way. However, they are also very good at reading people and knowing what motivates them, so they can also use positive reinforcement, such as offering rewards or praise. Control. Control is another key element of Machiavellian thinking. It's those who embrace this way of thinking want to be in charge. They want to have the power to make decisions that affect others. They often seek out positions of authority, and they are ruthless in their pursuit of power. Once they have power, they use it to control those around them. They set the rules, and they expect everyone to follow them. Anyone who doesn't fall in line is quickly punished. Deceit. Deceit is the third and final element of Machiavellian thinking. Because Machiavellians are so focused on power and control, they are often willing to lie, cheat, and steal in order to achieve their goals. They are very good at hiding their true intentions, and they often use deception to get what they want. For example, they might pretend to be someone they're not in order to gain the trust of others. Once they have gained that trust, they will then use manipulation and control tactics to get what they want. Now that we understand the three key elements of Machiavellian thinking, let's discuss some of its key characteristics. Lack of empathy. One of the defining characteristics of Machiavellianism is a lack of empathy. Because Machiavellians are so focused on themselves and their own needs, they have little concern for the feelings of others. They're unable to understand or share in the emotions of others, which makes it easy for them to manipulate and exploit them. Narcissism. Narcissism is another characteristic of Machiavellianism. Narcissists are self-absorbed, and they need constant admiration from others. They believe that they are better than others, and that they deserve special treatment. Now, they are often charming and charismatic, which makes it easy for them to get what they want from others. Superficiality. Superficiality is a third characteristic of Machiavellianism. Machiavellians are only interested in things that benefit them. They are not interested in things for their own sake. This means that they are often very skilled at small talk, and they know how to say the right things to please others. However, they are not interested in forming deep connections with people. No. Let's talk about the importance of understanding Machiavellian thinking. Why should we care about it? Well, first of all, it helps us to protect ourselves from people who use these tactics against us. These people are often very skilled at what they do, so it's important to be aware of the warning signs. Secondly, understanding Machiavellianism helps us to spot fake friends and toxic relationships. These relationships can be very damaging, so it's important to be able to identify them early on. Finally, understanding Machiavellianism can help us to become more effective communicators ourselves. By learning how to spot fake friends and toxic relationships, we can better protect ourselves and ensure that we are only surrounded by people who have our best interests at heart. We hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.